Welcome back to Cutting Dies 101. Paper Wishes has several die cutting machines, and I'll be demonstrating the manual Big Shot by Sizzix, and then this one is the Gemini Junior by Crafter's Companion. Both machines have 6-inch wide platforms or 6-inch wide openings, and they both come in larger 9-inch wide versions. It just depends on your preference. So always check the manufacturer's instructions because those vary from different machines, so make sure you check that out. So let's start with the Sizzix, and I'm going to talk to you about the platform. So this is the extended multi-purpose platform. It comes with the machine, which is really nice for larger dies. You can also purchase larger size plates. The plates that come with it are smaller like this, but it's just fine. It works great. So there's what we call recipes within this, and it depends on what manufacturer you're using for, say, cutting dies or embossing folders. So this is a good reference guide for that. It tells you how to layer things and what you need to know. So we're going to start with brand new plates. They are going to make a horrible crunching sound when we put it through the machine the first time. That's completely normal. All right. I wanted to show you, this is a nice new plate. This is a plate that's got lots and lots of wear, okay? But it's still perfectly good to use because it's pretty flat, okay? And how you get it flat is after you cut, every time you cut, flip your plates, okay? That's really important. If you don't flip your plates and you just keep running through the same spot, the same side every time, you're gonna have this happen. You're gonna bow. And this is not good. And this is not a usable plate. It's not gonna get even pressure on your cutting dies. So let's go ahead and start with, we're gonna be making a card as we do this. This is the card we're going to be making, and it uses a circle die and also some sweet little bird dies right there. So what we're going to do is I've cut a piece of paper that is on the card front here, and we need to cut a circle in that. Using the circle die has a cutting edge on one side and then a flat surface on the other. We're going to put this cutting surface down. Okay. Now you can also use what's called like a magnetic mat with this so that you don't have to tape this down, but that's not available with all machines. So we're going to go back to basics and use a little bit of low-tack tape. Low-tack tape is like painter's tape or washi tape, and it just allows you to secure things in place. If you had a magnetic mat under this, this die would stay in place without that. So it is a really nice thing to have. All right, so we're going to take another plate. So you see here we've created a sandwich. We've got a plate, paper or cardstock, die, which is cutting die face down, and then another plate. All right, and then we're going to run this through the machine. There's a little handle to crank, and as I said, because these are new plates, it's really going to make a lot of noise the first several times you use it, and that's just normal. So you're going to hold on here, and you're going to go through, and I like to go back. Why not? It's already there, it's already set up, and it'll give you a good cut. Now I'm cutting through two pieces of paper, rather two pieces of cardstock. So I might need to do something called shimming. This looks like it's cut through really nicely, but just in case you're cutting through something extra thick, you can take scraps of cardstock and you can just place them on areas that aren't cutting as well. Very simple. You could just place it like this and run it through again. You can also use, it's called a precision metal plate. So you could put that in between here and then run it through again, and it'll give extra pressure. This is really great for highly detailed sets. And then there's also something called, this is the iCrafter precision cutting pad. It's like a self-healing cutting pad. This is also great, but it would take the place of one of your pads. You could just put this on, put this through, and it's extra thick, right? Sometimes you need to adjust by taking off one of these layers that you have here to make those elements fit through the way you want them. It's just all about experimenting. All right, so let's go ahead and see here. My plate has this circle cut into it. That's completely normal. It's exactly what it's supposed to be doing. So let's try it this time using our metal plate so we can make sure to get through both of those thick layers of cardstock. And when you do that, sometimes, whoops, there's a little bit of a challenge there. There we go. All right, now that's just going to pop right out, except for the little tape, with no problem. Now, using the little low-tack tape can be a little bit of a problem, and that's why it's preferred to use a magnetic mat with this. That way your tape isn't compressed into your paper. But as I said, not all machines come with those. All right, so that is our first layer. Just like that's going to go like this. And we're going to put some foam tape with this. Find my scissors, here we go. And foam tape is such a handy thing to have when you're crafting. It's going to lift up this piece of paper. There we go. So that we put our next piece on top of it, it's going to give it a nice surface. Okay, and that's going to go right over that piece. You can see this has a little opening or a little window. All right, so the next piece we're going to cut, we're going to use our electronic machine, the Gemini Junior, to cut this piece right here. So for this die, we've got this little bird die, and we've got some beautiful little brown cardstock. For the Gemini, Gemini is great if you have mobility issues or cranking those layers through your machine would be difficult. This is electronic and it does all the work for you. We're going to make a sandwich with our plate and then the little shimming mat that it comes with. We're going to put our brown paper down. And then we've got the little bird die. And we're going to do the other plate. All right. I'm going to run that through our machine. All right. And we're going to grab our little pokey tool. Nice, because these have little holes in them so that you can help the die release. And this is what I would consider to be an intricate die with all these fine little pieces of branches. There we go. Isn't that cute? So now we're going to take this piece and we're going to just tack one part of it over on this side of the outside of the little circle, and then we're going to tack the other piece right over here. And for that, I'm going to use our little glue bottle. It's a really nice little bottle filled with Cosmic Shimmer glue. Bottles come empty, and then you can just fill them with your favorite kind of adhesive. And you see I'm only gluing this on the tips or the very edges of this die, the ones that are sort of connecting with the outside of that circle window. Just like that. So you guys, we've talked about the sandwich that you use with the die cutting machines and shimming and some nice to have tools. So in our next video, we're going to show you how to use the same machine for using embossing folders.